right, lads. Line up. It's hammer time.
Back and forth series so far between B-Step and Team Naventic, but B-Step now pulling ahead 2-1. So we'll see if they can close it out here in the next game. Now, Team Naventic, last time they lost a game, chose to go for the Battleground choice. Do we see them do it again here for Infernal Shrines?
No, they'll go to first pick.
All right.
They will. I think Naventic, the first one, they'll mix things up. Second one, they'll go into a position where they'll just go, nope, screw it, we need first pick. We think that's the way to go.
So Sky Temple then is likely going to be the Battleground choice for B-Step?
Probably. I think it makes the most sense when it comes to comfortability on the side of B-Step. I don't know if strategically I would look at that and say it's probably the best. I actually think that off the top of my head is Naventic's best map so far, the only map that they've done relatively well on.
Yeah, they are 2-0.
It's the only map. Almost every other map they're sitting at like below 50%. Some even, you know, out of the four that they get, even sitting at like 1-3s.
Yeah, they're 0-4 on Braxis.
Yeah.
And then on, I'm looking at the next one, Towers 0-3, although I don't think that B-Step is particularly dominant on Towers either.
Yeah.
But it might be that they want to take Naventic to Braxis, knowing that they have that record so far.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you that would be my exact first thought. Is especially if you watch any of the games too, you can tell there's this just maybe air of confusion to maybe the approach onto the map, or at least just general approach to the game there, whether it be the 4-man or swapping it, what it's going to be, which is amazing considering they're so successful on BOE. That can be such a problem on maps like Braxis. But yeah, I think it just comes down to, are you confident in yourself that much over your opponent or not? I would say I wouldn't be. Why not just go to Braxis, and even if it doesn't work out, the probability of them picking Sky is relatively high, so you know you might get the best of both worlds. They pick both your favorite maps.
Well, let's see how it shook down and what Naventic chose. As we've seen it play a big role in Naventic's series just throughout HGC. B-Step did choose the Battleground, which meant Naventic wanted first pick, and it's Infernal Shrines.
Infernal Shrines. A map that almost sees... It used to be the most popular map in the world. Across the world now, it is almost one of the least popular. That being said, it's nowhere near the whopping under 5 games we've had on Warhead Junction. It's just, you know, it's a big old whiffer on that one. But everything else, Infernal Shrines, it's just amazing. It used to be the most played map, and now it seems to have dropped quite heavily when it comes to priority. That being said, it's not unplayed. It's just very rare.
This is one of the best battlegrounds that B-Step could go on to. They are 2-0 currently on Infernal Shrines, but Team Naventic themselves are 2-1. So we're looking at potentially another close game for this battleground.
I'm not even going to say the word Kerrigan because she's seen so little play in North America that I doubt she's even going to come out into this match. So then what other things are we worried about on Infernal? Honestly, not too much. Gul'dan is something that's become more popular in the North American scene on this map, but it's not been an overwhelming hero.
No, 25% win rate so far on Infernal Shrines for him.
Sad days. Nazebo, probably.
Oh, yeah?
Probably rises. Nazebo, in my opinion, is infinite better than... not infinite better. He is quite better, in my opinion, though.
Not infinite, like millions better, thousands.
No, the first use of infinite, I absolutely meant in a literal sense, but this one, I mean it more in like a not true sense.
Got it.
Yeah. But now that's going to be the task removal. Where do we see Naventic move into with their draft?
I think they're going to do it.
They are. Do you think the Kerrigan?
So when we saw B-Step run this Never Die comp with Kerrigan on Shrines. It was a while back.
Wait till they get along with me.
I like it. I mean, obviously, I've been talking about every time we see this map. I'm so excited. I think she's amazing when it comes to the map itself. She literally feels built for it, which is amazing because most, you know, she's a StarCraft character, but it's a Diablo map, so definitely not going to be the case. But feels very much in tune with the Punisher or the Shrine itself.
B-Step, in my opinion, should be scared of Medivh to come out next.
You should just pick Medivh in this rotation. It's not only removing the Undying that you can expect Naventic to move into with their draft potentially, but then also it's a counter just to the Kerrigan. Make up for it with a Nazebo. You need to make up for it with sustained DPS. There it is. So,
Nicely
all right.
done.
So not only is that a good synergy, Diablo has he's the best kill potential primer on Infernal Shrines for any frontliner, which is very easy for the Kerrigan. So if they get any kind of follow-up damage, it's very easy to just Kerrigan's leaping, and then suddenly she's dead when you have Diablo. How do you make up for it, though, now with Naventic into the next 2 slots? Any thoughts?
If they are that concerned with having a second support for Kerrigan, then they're going to have to pick Zarya here.
Yes. And then if they're overly concerned about it, they could even Tyrael. It would be probably not necessary this high up. I think Falstad is a must for them and then this rotation. I think with how high they prioritized it too recently, I think they will pick it in this transition here.
Yeah, Naventic seems to have once again fully adjusted to the compositions, watching the drafting of Korea yet again.
Yeah,
Their focus on Kerrigan, getting Kerrigan here. Falstad, a high priority there, besides the fact that it gives them that global that they desperately need. But Malfuri and Gul'dan, we were not anticipating that.
No.
At least I wasn't.
No, it's an answer to Medivh, because then you have a little bit burst, and then you've got a little sustain, and Medivh obviously excels only into the burst. You remove the best sustain healer, and what do you get? You know, technically you should have the upper hand. It's not as straightforward as that as I think it is. Medivh Portal is such an underestimated thing. And the kill potential onto the front line, I just feel like Gul'dan maybe a little too ambitious, or at least high pick for Naventic, at least so far in the strat. But we'll see if B-Step can punish them.
Do you think that Naventic would still want to get Zarya if they got the chance, as well as their warrior here?
I don't think so. If you were to run Zarya with Medivh, I typically just like Zarya solo in that type of situation. But maybe.
Sorry, I meant Naventic.
Oh, for Naventic. Yeah. No, Zarya is a really appealing option.
Then I wonder if B-Step's going to ban it. Nope, Tyrael instead. So good read on the potential for sanctification with the Kerrigan to help her buy time to build shields.
Yeah, it's a really interesting pairing. The Zeratul ban with the Diablo, Fear of the Duo. So it works if you pick Diablo, but it doesn't if you pick Zeratul. Science. That's how that works out.
Now the next 2 picks for B-Step.
You have to match the sustain. Vala isn't that hero, so don't pick Vala. Tychus might be. I think more than anything, I think we're going to see another Dezebo. I think it's going to match. It doesn't have to be picked here, or you're going to see a double warrior. Oh my gosh, Sonya.
Tychus is still up too.
Oh, Sonya hasn't been touched.
You already got your Kerrigan.
No. For B-Step, Sonya's the dream. To have Medivh, Diablo, Sonya into a Kerrigan?
Well, maybe it's just that they want to wait here.
Yeah.
Because she's so not seen very much yet, just starting to climb back in here and there. Poke her head out.
I would have rather did Jaina.
Than Tychus?
Yeah, I would rather Jaina over the Tychus. It hurts your shrine control a lot. Maybe too much. Maybe I'm overvaluing the kill potential and the synergy there. But Sonya makes up for your shrine control. So no, I would have rather to Jaina in that position, and then look to just kill with the Jaina, Sonya, Medivh, Kharazim, Diablo. So good on kill potential on the front line. Sonya provides the shrine control, and I mean Sonya is going to be hard to be able to kill.
Ooh, I am terrified for B-Step right now.
For the Forsaken.
There's a Sylve.
Because that is lockdown upon lockdown upon lockdown.
Yeah, they
from
might.
Naventic. And what do you have? You have Kharazim. Yeah, I mean Medivh, he buys time, but that's protect only lasts for so long, my friends.
They have to pick a melee with high HP, shrine control, and something that can survive. And I don't even know if Sonya has the survivability aspect high enough to justify here anymore. I almost feel like you got to run full double warrior, and the warrior has to have a lot of lockdown. And who am I thinking?
Arthas.
I don't think that's going to be it. I actually think I don't like it just because it's very vulnerable. It might be better than the Sonya, though. You might be right. Maybe I like it more than the Arthas above all else. Maybe. I think it's got to be Arthas or Sonya, though.
Or?
Oh, man. What else could it be? It's going to be Sonya, I think.
Here we go again.
got... Where did that come from? Why Chromie? I've seen this before out of B-Step, and the last time it happened, I think they got 3-level leaded. Not just the Chromie, but the Chromie without, like, the thought behind it, and you're like...
They're going to go Slowing Sands because they like it on this map.
So they make it difficult for Kerrigan to do things?
The other time they played it, though, they had Slowing Sands with Starfall, and it was like, Slowing Sands here, Starfall here, you go nowhere. Goodbye, my friends. I
don't know about that one. Okay, so it's going to be easily cleansed. It should be. Chromie hasn't done too well. Went into any form of a cleanse whatsoever. The Slowing Sands I don't think is going to be enough. There's only 2 melees to really pull away from. The Kerrigan, which you don't slow that well because she just leapfrogs onto you. And then, I don't know. This is one that I have to think of a little bit more about and see how it plays out. But overall, my first instinct is not very sold on the Chromie.
Yeah, on paper, you look at the composition of Team Naventic, they have the Shrine Control that you want. You have Sylvanas to back up that Shrine Control.
More importantly, you not only have level 4 Shrine Control, you have a Sylv behind it, and you've got kill potential.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
Just...
It is a incredible composition that Naventic just walked away from here when we look at Infernal Shrines. But maybe there is something that we don't spot when it comes to the Chromie. I hope there's something in the Chromie.
Yeah, she's going to wish she had Talon's 3-level lead, or 3 levels earlier here, because I feel like my first thought is this is a 3-level game, and it's the only way to match the talent tier of your opponents. Maybe not. Maybe there's a secret strat. There's always the Medivh factor, too. We always got to keep that in mind, because he's just actually insane and ridiculous playmaking, and teams that use him well obviously are standout comparative to those who can't, and especially deal with them well.
And this is K1 Pro.
Yeah, but they don't... A Portal Diablo is not as nearly as scary as a Portal a lot of insert warrior here, right? The only one that you go like any more just kind of like, oh, you know, that's fine, is like a Johanna. She just comes in and she's just...
Hey, guys.
Yeah, you know, he is scary when it's against the wall, but most of the time it's too articulated in positioning that the Portal isn't going to be a playmaker in that sense.
I think the Chromie is somewhat for Gul'dan, because Gul'dan, when he starts to sit still with trying to drain life, then you chuck everything out and nullify any amount of healing that he can do. But he's with Malfurion.
Yeah. I don't know.
We're ready for yet another game of crazy compositions between B-Step and Naventic. We'll see you there.
Oh, crazy compositions. I can tell you, I really want the bigger they are at 4 as well, this game, for I Dream there onto the Tychus. Everything else here is what we would expect out of level 1s.
Flame build for Gul'dan instead of Echo Corruption.
Going into Q build. What does that mean for them? What does Q build mean over E build on this map? He's going to have...
a little bit of easier damage, I would say, for Shrines.
It would be more burst early game to follow up on Kerrigan too. It definitely would help when it comes to Shrine Control. It will increase the threat there. But he also... risks more in terms of positioning severely. So is that something that Chromie can punish?
Comes down to McIntyre. By the way, that's Skinnergy. Look at that.
Look at those mind games, dude. Sylv showed on top, everybody else is bottom. Little do they know. Master plan, Naventic here.
And Tomster will complete that with a B-step.
We'll find out. This is a moment here in competitive HOTS. Maybe this is the moment I become a Chromie believer. That's not true. I've actually become a Chromie believer.
Hello, Schwimpy.
Yeah, Europe's approach to it so far has been pretty impressive. I like the thought process behind it a lot. We see this transition here for the 4. Kerrigan's left kind of in an island. Kerrigan's actually a really solid 1v1er. She's not great, but she's actually not as bad as you would think. Mainly just with the Q reset, worst case scenario, things get hairy, you can just combo the minion wave and spam your Q all day, heal off with that level 1. And suddenly you're back to normal and the minion wave's dead. It's fine. It costs a lot of mana and it's not the most efficient, but you can stop some bleeding where other heroes can't.
And once Naventic get 4, they still have some good lockdown even without a Kerrigan combo. And it's allowing Gul'dan to continue to stack up his Spell Flame. Sylvanas helps clear out waves as fast as she can. And they continue to try to dominate this. Because in the Vent does not have Warbringer yet though. So once they get that, that's really when the lockdown for Naventic starts to be a factor.
Yeah, Naventic will not even look at the Shrine until they hit 4. Not only does B-Kid need Warbringer, but more importantly, Kerrigan needs mana costs on her reset of Q. Otherwise, she'll start the leapfrog game and just be dead, or at least, before anything's going to play out. So we'll find out here. The Shrine's going to spawn, waiting for those 4s. Chromie's picked up hers. She's sticking, you know, to a standard build. Good flank here down below. Pin against the wall. Tomster is going to be dead. Chromie there for the follow-up, not going to land.
That did move positioning away for V-Step over the Shrine. We'll see how fast they can move in and try to get some of the minions. Team Naventic realizing that, start the Shrine with Kerrigan, and you can see how fast she's starting to work through these skeletal defenders.
Yeah, the clear on the bottom is going to happen. I do think that Naventic should move to the Shrine. Their comp is not okay at ignoring the Shrine, unless it's ignoring the Shrine while Kerrigan solos it. And in fact, they disagree. They're going to commit to this onto bottom and look to siege up. They don't have enough siege potential, and they have so much clear, and their comp is so value whenever they get an objective. Oh, Mac trying to dodge the combo there by moving into it, but barely max range Zuna was able to get it. This is the second time today we've seen Zuna play a melee and Tomster play a range.
Yeah, I think that that is a full role swap for the team, because it has been that way. It was already wavering back and forth.
Yeah.
But even Illidan putting Tomster on Sergeant Hammer on Battlefield of Eternity, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not seeing Zuna on the Sergeant Hammer on Battlefield of Eternity is crazy to see. So yeah, I think they have fully committed to this role swap, as they have to getting this Arcane Punisher here in the mid lane. And now we see the power of not only Sylvanas and this Punisher, but with B-Kid and Zuna too, people need to be careful for how they defend for B-Step.
I really was hoping that was the moment where we saw the leap follow up, but it probably, you know, it's the first Punisher, the gate's not down, it's fine to play safe. I realize my dreams of diving Forza level 7, probably too aggressive here. Chromie though, oh man, in a matter of moments we're gonna see the heroic.
Ooh, that is a risky talent for Gul'dan to choose at 7. Hunger for power. Again, reducing the healing received from allies by 25%, but if, I guess, Gul'dan believes that all the focus is going to be on Kerrigan and maybe even Sylvanas, because you want to take her out so she can't make the Immortal or the Punisher even stronger.
Yeah.
It's risky though, because you're versus a Chromie, like we said. He's one of those targets you can see sit still.
Yeah, and I think I was going to comment when you talked about the Chromie poke and everything on the build. That was the first thing I was thinking about, is, you know, avoid hunger for power, things will be fine. But I think what scares me the most is there's about, I don't see any scenario where into a Medivh I would risk that talent. Like, just across the board. Purely on the fact that, like, it legitimately takes half a second and the entire team's on top of me.
Yeah.
I just don't see a situation where, you know, I look at that and be like, you know, that was worth here. But we'll find out if the positioning is going to be safe enough here. Zuna on bottom looking to get the soak, the overpower onto impact. There's going to be the portal I was talking about. K1 actually missing his Q means they're going to back right on out here.
Here's where we see what Chromie wants. Slowing Sands is the choice at level 8 for Chromie. And we have Master's Touch too, so we'll be cluing you in on those stacks. For Gul'dan and Chromie, they're both about halfway through their level 1 talents. That's Pursuit of Flame, Fell Flame for Gul'dan, and Compounding Ether to try to increase the damage of Sandblast for Chromie.
Map objective up. So close to 10. Naventic here has nothing to fear. Honestly, they can just set Kerrigan up on top alone when they manage to hit the 10, soak the side lanes as long as possible because B-Step can't contest. And when that happens, or just siege up on top, you can, you know, set Kerrigan on the Shrine, 4-man commit to top because they do have the Sylph. It's kind of the beauty of their unique draft here, and that's really what I like to see from them. It looks like Kerrigan's moving up, Varian staying towards mid for now, so they aren't going to try and capitalize on the siege. There they go. That is going to be the transition. This is a huge power play. Could even lead to a potential keep here in this game.
Now, B-Step are using this time to push in the bottom with Tychus and Medivh, but with Sylvanas, Naventic can take out this fort. Nobody really in B-Step able to even contest it because they want heroic abilities. The fort goes down. Punisher off the back of this, heading straight to the keep.
And one of the things, you know, when we talk about shrine control on the map, obviously it's like how fast can you kill the skeletal defenders, how much does it cost you, but more importantly than anything, why it matters is exactly what we see here, right? Is like, granted, Sylvanas kind of makes it that much more scary. She's a little bit of an exception to it, but when you do get an upper hand, that you don't have to commit too many resources to be able to get the map objective, because we often see teams, you know, they get a lead, they win a fight and things are good, and then they start the shrine and nobody has control, and then the entire opponent's team spawns, they get back and suddenly are able to take the fight. That is not the case when looking at this composition for Naventic.
B-Step have to play this out very well, because they're going to get very far behind if they can't make something happen here. We have Leyline Seal. Everything that we would have wanted from B-Step is here. Slowing Sands is already down on the place where the small wall is to try to slow down. Leyline Seal comes in. K1 Pro takes the portal back, but it only buys time for the team using Odin to take out the Punisher.
Yeah, it's just going to buy a little bit of time there. So only have to keep front wall. Maybe a turret going to be dropping there. So very well done so far for Naventic, getting this, I mean, 3/4 level lead advantage here. Pressure around the map. We get to see B-Step even really kind of have a moment. There's really been just, you know, that one pick onto the map, and the rest is, oh, we lost the shrine. And Sylvanas Kerrigan doing exactly what they do best on Infernal.
But this is a point where B-Step would like to get into a fight. And with K1 Pro and Sandblast coming down, they see it. Portal goes through. Slowing Sands on top of the point.
Cap goes in. Is anybody going to match him? Portal's about to die. He doesn't have 13, so that's a cooldown for a while. Pin against the wall. We've already got the kill, though, onto Naventic there. One man down. Combo comes out. Beautiful shield there for Medivh.
Seven-sided strike.
Gets it. Very well done, and they're not done.
Nope, they're going straight after B-Kid. Slam into the wall. APM jumping onto him, too. Here comes the blast. One more grenade, and a takedown. 3 kills exactly when B-Step needed it.
How did Gul'dan? I didn't even see it. Did he get chromium? I just saw he was dead. I don't even know what happened there.
Yeah, he sort of got forgotten up in the back, and that's the problem, right? Is all the focus goes in on the front when everyone's trying to steal the camp like that, and Varian got pushed into a corner that let Cap pick it up, and poor Big E.
Poor Big E. You know what's never mind. That was a bad joke. I'll take it back. I was gonna make it some.
You didn't even make it.
I was gonna make some bad. I know, because it was that bad. Something about, you know, that we call him Big E, and then like if he ran E build, or like with, he could hit a Big E, but now he's Big Q. I don't know. It's just.
I need you to leave this desk.
I know.
Right
Sometimes I'm ashamed to be me. I really am. That was one of those moments, you know. And the worst part is I get to share it with the world, as I realize I'm just a dingus.
B-Step using the advantage that they have, understanding that it's not far that Naventic are behind. They need to get started on the shrine as quickly as possible. So fast rotation, they started, they have Slowing Sands down 2, and have about 15 of the skeletal defenders in their pockets so far. 13 here for Team Naventic. All heroic abilities up for both the teams.
It has taken a lot of poke, but it really just took one Q from Ken, and really Chromie on her DPS has been kind of irrelevant. There's another one thrown out. It's only probably going to get worse in post 16 with that hardened focus. So we'll see if they make a play. Odin's dropped here, 27 and 19 on the skeletal defenders, and B-Step say, not today. They're going in. There's the overpower. Cleanse comes out. Leyline Seal to add. Apox used. Only going to hit Ken there, as he is going to be just fine for now. The team's completely split everywhere. No one yet to be able to net a kill here, but the skeletal defenders have hit a different story. Oh!
Time trap! Zuna is in a terrible spot. Twilight Dream trying to buy time. Kerrigan goes down, but Biggie and Kinmud almost getting hit by that Dragon's Breath. They're trying to retreat, but B-Step, a lot of members of B-Step are there. The portal to help them even get into position faster.
Ken is able to keep it up. K1 Pro has to go back through the portal.
Yeah, he did not have his stacks finished, so that was getting risky, especially with the Mortal there.
Yeah, Sylv is still up, though.
Punisher.
So this Punisher / Immortal is, in fact, going to have a lot of HP here. The big guy who punches things.
Yes.
Sylvanas is actually, okay, they're going to split towards bottom instead, realizing mid-keep might be a little bit too much. But, I mean, we saw the lack of shrine control on the side of B-Step, and the need to force the fight, how rough it can be if they even fail. It doesn't even mean that they really, they have to force the fight to be successful, because the shrine control and just Sylvanas is terrifying. But if they aren't successful in it, they really are just, they're going to lose the Immortal anyways, just purely on the shrine control.
King Caffeine got pulled along with Sylvanas, but still no kills. At least VStep understand that every time they take out a Punisher, they have to look for fights.
Yes, that's a really good point. Is like they understand their circumstances.
They do.
It's just not fun to be in them.
No.
You know, but I guess it's a little bit of their own fault. You know, the draft was in fact their choice, and they realize where they are. The question is, can they recover? Have we seen the argument for Chromie yet? I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm just purely no, okay. I haven't either.
Reaching through time too, it seems. Again, just risky talent choices here. Not getting time out. For if Kerrigan decides that you look delicious as a little Chromie.
It's really nice to be able to dodge a combo, buy a couple seconds of time. Or, you know, more than a couple. That thing is just ridiculous. But either way, it's going to be the sit back, relax, throw, you know, fling out the spells, hope something lands, look to get a connect, but without, you know, any heavy lockdown outside of maybe APOC in 7-sided, there really aren't just kind of that tools there to confirm these kills for B7, at least not yet.
Naventic trying to get to their 16 talents. Quest talent update while we have a little bit of time. Nothing's done yet. Nothing. Not Compounding Ether, not Pursuit of Flame, and Master's Touch is about 2/3 of the way there. Compounding Ether is the closest, only a couple more, and Chromie will have that quest talent completed.
I think, I don't know what's the most important here. Masters outscales. I think Masters is going to outscale the Q at 1. Or the relevance of it. For
McIntyre?
Yeah, for, excuse me,
Gul'dan?
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry. But I might actually really be wrong about that now that I think about it, because that was the story up until he hit 16, and once he hit 16, then it definitely is not the answer.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have it completed pre-16, so yeah, it's going to be a tough spot.
Zuna's the charge.
Wow, they're
Here comes
not
APOC
messing around.
too. King Caffeine jumping onto Zuna. 7-sided strike goes down, but a lot was used from that leyline seal even.
The portal's up in 3-2 now, but he is way out of range. Yeah,
There it is.
That was the most casual walk away from a kill area I've ever seen. And they don't even need him for the control. Gul'dan's got it just fine. They're going to split here the pressure onto the map. This is something that BStep needed to do a little bit earlier in this game here. You know, threaten something elsewhere on the map so heavily that the Shrine doesn't seem relevant. But that's going to be one fort wall. This is another Punisher, no fort to move through. The keep's already being threatened.
BStep would like to do the same thing they've done before, which is where they force the fight, get some kills, and make it so that Team Naventic can't push with the Punisher. The problem is this time, they don't have Leyline Seal. They don't have Apocalypse. They have Slowing Sands, Odin, and 7-sided strike to make something happen, whereas Naventic have every heroic ability at their disposal.
Sidewall down on top of it, you know.
Sands once again, though.
When the bad gets worse. There's the leap, there's the taunt. Zuna not going to pop the combo. Good damage, though, coming out from Mac. Putting enough threat to maybe question, you know, making them back, but that, in fact, is going to be Malfurion just fine there. Malf didn't go into the hard focus, though. Going with, you know, the increased roots at 16. Follow up onto Varian or Kerrigan is going to be that much better. I just thought into the Chromie, that seemed like, you know, the only way things got hairy is if Chromie outpokes. So I figured, you know, I don't look at that comp and I'm like, you know what I really need is lockdown. But I don't think it's a bad choice.
Leyline Seal.
They're going to force it.
APOC to follow. Ice blocks down. That buys time for Kenma. Grenade pulls him back. So does Overpower. Wailing Arrow and Twilight Dream used, but it won't save Malfurion's life.
Costs 3 heroics to be able to get 1 kill. What else can BStep do here? As they look like they're going to back out. Not going to get 1 more pick. You see them looking for that damage, and they need to be able to open up the map, at least get a double fort. Bottom fort's going to die pretty easily, so if they can get this mid and then transition towards bottom later, that'd be great. And, you know, a little bit of portal action happening here.
Portal action.
Yeah, that's...
I like it.
I think that's pretty much what it is, you know? It's a little bit of, am I over here? Am I over here? You don't know? Huh? Yeah.
Teeter-totter.
Yeah, it's like almost like a... like your little nephew or niece or whatever, like a little kid just getting excited, like, can't catch me. Da, 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 da. Either way.
That's what Biggie just said to King Caffeine.
Yeah, straight up, you know. Here's the dude with the portal. K1's going to be right on out of there as well. And not even 1 fort game. Feels bad, man, if you are BStep here.
Thought there'd be some Dragon's Breath action, like the portal action for McIntyre to finish off that fort, but knowing that those are so close to going down, and BStep has stayed caught up with Naventic and experience, despite the fact that Naventic have won every Punisher and have had Sylvanas to push with every Punisher, it comes down to the fact that every single time Naventic has pushed with a Punisher, somehow B-Step stop it so that they just don't get as much done with it as they would have liked with Sylvanas.
B-Step just lucked out so hard right now. They had a 50% chance of just no hope or the best spawn in the world. And they, in fact, got option number 2. That's on top. Why is it the best spawn in the world? Because it's the only place where they can win a fight this late in the game and actually win the game. The only situation.
Oh, Mac. Oh, taunt. That's a cleansing touch. Doesn't matter. Chromie's out of there. 7-sided strike and Horrify 2.
Good shield.
Yeah, that Force of Will was great.
K1 Pro goes out. Just going to throw out 1 Q. So it's going to be another Shrine here over to Naventic. Unless they're going to take this 4 versus 5 fight, which I think is probably unrealistic. We're at the moment of lethal, though. This is enough for even a Punisher, though he does, I forgot, you know, the video. I think he prioritizes punching heroes or something of that. Even though he does prioritize the heroes, he very much is in a position to look for game, even if he is baited towards mid-keep. Or do these ones have names, like the Immortals? Or just the types?
No, just the type. Arcane, Frozen, Mortar. Oh, they're just not a special.
Yeah.
John would be the name.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I like that. We'll go, the top one will be John, the middle one will be Cena, and then the bottom one will be, we'll just call it Claire's just for the sake of throwing Claire's and his enjoyment out of, you know, John Cena and other beautiful characters created on television.
I think that's good. Claris will live on in infamy as one of the Punishers.
Yeah.
This is good for B-Step, though. They knew that those 2 forts were low. They weren't going to be able to get the Punisher. So at the very least, they took out those forts, which opens up keep anywhere else, and importantly, got them 20 for defending versus Team Naventic. So making the right choices despite the fact that they keep losing these darn Punishers.
It's, oh man. How does B-Step do this? So Naventic here picks up the 20. They threaten on the bottom. Even if everybody on the side of B-Step, man, they're gonna back out. I would have just kept pushing as long as everybody on B-Step shows. But granted, they might not have the fog. I haven't seen anybody other than Dibbles show in some time. So they're gonna back out and retreat. They're just afraid of shrubs, afraid of where they might be. As Diablo's still the only one to show up. K1 Pro reveals on mid. All right, it's time. They have decided that, in fact, it is time to get the Immortal, or the Punisher / Immortal. I'm sorry about that.
It's body,
I did it
both
too.
of us.
Yeah, dude, it's hard, you know.
Diablo
Not
maps.
as bad as the Garden of Terror and Shamblers or like that whole lingo. That map is just, you know, it's just foreign, really. This is it, though.
Walking trap for commentators.
We got John. That's the top one. He's ready. Zuna's ready. K1 Pro, do you have the Medivh skills to stop the what looks like inevitable loss of this game?
Once again, Slowing Sands already set up for this. Happy was in for the bait.
There it is. Cleansing dash to be able to back out. Odin
Lovely.
used. Big combo. So it's disabling though. I don't think.
Keep's gonna go down very fast. Odin's being used.
Cap's
Has big
looking
red
for it.
button. Oh, Tomster takes a huge hit to the face. Damage from Chromie.
That's gonna
Here
be
comes the chase.
Portal 1. And there was no Portal 2. It's gonna be full retreat here for Naventic. Scouted though by Medivh. Medivh's gonna be on full chase here. The map has opened up enough for B-Step to win the game. If a fight happens, where they win, convincingly. It has, that is the silver lining. And K1 Pro, you know, he's on the hunt here. He's tracking it down.
Yeah, they have to get this fight before
They're
the
gonna
next Punisher because there's just not really an option left for Team Naventic, and it may not go so well for B-Step the next time Naventic do get a Punisher. They had that mid to bait to. It's still there too.
It's
But
on bottom 2 camps are the only camps that they can get a fight on. In 4 seconds, one is spawning. There it is. It's going to be captured. The minute that one gets done, they're going bottom. Chromie's clearing on bot. That is the only situation to where we see B-Step, I think, get a realistic fight that isn't around the Shrine, which we've seen how those go. They have to force and they have to be successful. Otherwise, Kerrigan's leapfrog is enough to win the game.
Pocket of time for Chromie is here too.
Now on bottom, and they aren't going to take it. Yeah. They're willing to take the Shrine fight. Good on you. It's you know, you're bigger risk takers than I would ever be here, B-Step. But in fact, maybe it is going to be the proper choice.
So does it come down to if Leyline Seal Medivh cheats with Apocalypse afterwards can get enough people to take out?
It comes down to the Medivh factor, whether that be a portal, a beautiful shield, or just Leyline Seal. That whole thingy that's going on there. It comes down to that, a Chromie pick onto a backliner that just was neglected in heals by Malfurion.
Like the Gul'dan earlier.
Yes, or I really feel like those are the only two, because even if you hit a huge APOC and 7-sided, I just don't think there's enough damage to get a kill. I think a lot of it is just Chromie and Medivh. Do they have the opportunity to get those picks? And I feel like Sylve is the highest probability of getting that, you know, that Chromie damage out into. Mainly because Gul'dan is constantly the heavy focus, and because of that lack of hardened focus for 16 at Malfurion, it does make it to where he's gonna, you know, he's gonna life tap and he's gonna burn all his cooldowns, and there has to go a Q onto him. When that happens, Sylve is gonna be kind of open season here. Let's find out though. We've got a shrine up. This is
It all comes down to this.
yeah, I said that last time too, and it still didn't though.
But this one's in bottom, and that keep is already low.
That's a good point. And it still can get baited to mid though, so maybe a moment. Soon as gonna start.
Watch K1 Pro, if he drops, he sees the right spot for Leyline Seal. B-Step will change immediately. Odin is down 2. Do Naventic just wait this out? Can B-Step force in time?
Naventic is in a terrible spot right now, actually. They've gotten so much damage onto Zuna that leaves Tomster right, just out of range, very vulnerable. Because Ken, again, that 16, a good cleanse over the wall though, is gonna buy peel. Just not having the raw healing. If Chromie hits multiple spells, they can win these fights. Zuna looks like he's about to go in for a moment. Dash out is gonna be on the Tychus. Dash, 1, 2, 3, 31 on the Skeletal Defender's cap, taking a lot of her ass. That is gonna be the nuke. Big red button, drop 25 for Naventic. Now counting, Odin's down, 34 for B-Step. You can tell he's getting greedy there. He goes in. There's going to be the pin. Blink out from Zuna. 35. Oh, but Ken, a different story.
4 by 2. Tychus might be in trouble. Leyline Seal and Apocalypse. Everyone in B-Step fully invested in this fight now. They take out Malfurion.
They do take out Malfurion. Does APM go down as well? The combo lands. The shield, but the time's there. Reabsorption. He gets enough HP. He's going to dash out. But the Punisher slowly creeping. In fact, that was the Claire's one. He's looking for the core. 36%. I don't think they can stop it.
Unless they take out Zuna right here, maybe. They're going to jump in. Lord of Terror. Grenade goes down. Portal's there. Zuna lives. No, he doesn't. That was a piercing sands. B-Kid drops 2 kills, 3 kills for B-Step.
All right, now they have to bait it towards mid, otherwise it will be able to win the game. So here it goes, move towards mid. Thank you. Now bait it upwards. All right, so they bought time. 36% on the core. Nothing else is left on the map. Man, maybe he just doesn't care. I don't actually. That is the only objective in the game. I cannot tell you like what it does to the core when it's actually auto-attacking in terms of damage.
B-Step are like, here, Punisher, 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 please don't kill our core. Please be nice to us. Stop with these arcane bolts. 30%.
He's like a goldfish though. He's legitimately, he's like, oh, enemies. And then like 2 seconds later, he's like, oh, a core. And then 3 seconds later, he's like, oh, enemies.
Oh my, 15% and holding our B-Step in this game.
They've got to push out. They've got to force a fight. They have to win it and hope they can look for game because.
Yeah, they cannot go through another
rotation
phase.
of another shrine, another immortal or Punisher. My goodness.
Immortal, sure.
I just got to call them by the real names, you know. Gosh, this is a tough spot. Naventic, the one thing I do want to see them stop doing is, granted it might be too late at this point because their core is so low they can't even risk damage, is just take a fight onto an objective itself. All right, there's the reveal Ken showed. They're going for it. Leyline Seal's up, but Medivh is all the way top. That's 8 seconds. Oh, good job. B-Step there getting the dismount, maybe, if you will. Was actually a much bigger play because they could have ended. Leyline there. They're going to buy time. They're waiting for the shrine. They're going to play the patient game. So when you're B-Step, where do you find the pick? Where do you hit the fight where you catch them off guard? And it's going to be around Mercs. You can legitimately calculate where these are going to go. Next one's going to be top right. If there's anybody showing up bottom, they'll transition towards top left. If they want to take the fight at all, they'll walk away. So you have to catch them off guard. So get him somewhere in the middle. You know, maybe here, if you were to draw a line there right between all of the shrines, just a little bit above or maybe below.
29 seconds until the shrine.
They aren't even going to show on the shrine. They are legitimately going to wait out so much pressure. They're going to keep Kerrigan on the shrine, make sure she's nowhere near dead, and then wait for the pressure to just overwhelm B-Step because they don't even have the wave clear to justify it.
At the very least, maybe these shaman buy a little bit of time, but Naventic has theirs too.
Yeah, it'll buy time.
Has to be cleared.
It won't even, yeah, it won't even buy time in top. I was going to say it'll buy time in top, but that's not really true. Okay, Kerrigan's going to start. If anything gets even close to scary, you just run away. All right, so now, oh, good ley line. This is it.
APOC, Cap goes in, 7-sided strike. Can they take down Naventic right here?
That's
Diving in is K1 or King Caffeine.
The shield actually keep him alive for now, too. That is a good job for them. 2 people picked off, no way, but the core is slowly getting damaged here. If we look, oh, the Shaman Camp's moved up. B-Step here in the skirmish.
The shield's dropping.
Shields are going. That's going to be one. Oh, good stun against the wall. The Chromie's backed for the core. Oh my goodness, the shield there. So Tomster, will he survive here? APM with the heals. There's going to be no haunted wave for some time. 3 people are dead. Can they end Kerrigan and
nicely
they're backdooring.
done, K1
They're backdooring.
Pro.
Oh my gosh, they're backdooring.
Back right now! B-Step have to back. It's only Kerrigan and Varian left. They're starting to move under the bottom. They realize that the backs have happened.
Oh, they can't do it.
Mass chaos for Team Naventic.
Yeah, all right, so now they need the best shrine controllers possible up to the shrine. This is the exact scenario I was talking about when you have no shrine control. My goodness, you win the fight, but
King
nobody...
Caffeine's like, hey, take this fire. I've got 3.
He doesn't even take the 13, which gives him a small opportunity to be that wave clear. Chromie's not going to do too well.
Oh, my.
Okay, this is the only win condition for B-Step in this game. This is it. We're witnessing it right now. The Immortal. Somebody's going to have to back. Okay, the best case scenario, they get 39. They go bottom. They push out 3 catapult minion waves. They walk back, throw 1 spell in, get the Punisher. The minute it leaps over that wall, full initiation. That is the only way you win this game because then you buy enough time through bottom to where the catapults aren't a threat. And you put yourself into to where you can actually end the game, and then you have to follow up.
Oh, but Naventic have shown at the shrine. Leyline seal. Medivh cheats.
Clipped 1.
Only
he's
catches
against
Biggie.
the wall, too.
APOC.
It's too early.
He jumps in. Horrify keeps him alive. Wailing arrow on the back. Big Impact stays alive, but here comes K1 Pro through the portal.
Odin's going to be dropped. The catapult on bottom might need focus over time here. Immortal is... Oh, Immortal, I hate my life. The Punisher is going over to B-Step. 29 minutes and 57 seconds into the game. They have a Punisher to call their own. But they have to back 1, Chromie on the clear. The problem is they needed to follow up onto this leap, and they don't have Leyline to do that anymore.
3rd time's a charm. This is it.
No. Man. All right.
They had a portal.
They did.
They still have. Kenma.
Kenma was very aggressive positioning. No punishment going to happen yet. 41%. They need this fight. This is legitimately their only win condition. There it goes. Nobody follow up. Chromie's not there yet. They have to win here. The portal aid.
There's the keep down.
They're going to back out.
Punisher's done.
They are going to risk another cycle. Granted.
Maybe they just force Naventic to chase. There's still some heroic abilities down, and then they ley-lined.
You rotate aggressively. So see how Naventic's going to move down right now?
Yeah.
If they had just moved into that tiny little choke code right there in the bottom left where they're all passing, that's where you get the fight, where you can expect a greedy rotation where your opponents aren't checking every single shrub. But once you cross the half ley line, they will now be patient over everything.
Oh no. That shield got chunked. I thought Naventic was going in right there. But again, B-Step make it back in time to allow their poor 15% core to stay alive.
I will be amazed. This might be the greatest comeback I've ever seen if B-Step somehow turns this game around. And I've seen some doozies, but this one, we're here. Level 25 has been achieved.
31 minutes into Infernal Shrines.
All right, the cap's going to be there. Mouth has obviously dropped the scouting drone. Again, B-Step here. They're going to wait for another shrine, and they're going to be willing to take that fight once more. It worked the last time.
It did.
It only took 29 minutes, and it did.
This time, there's a keep down too. If they win that fight, they win the game.
If
But
they win
again-
that fight with more than 2 kills,
Right.
they win the game.
Yeah, I'm saying with the amount that they won last time.
Yes. For now, it's just tense. Transitions, everybody walking around, full 5-man, not willing to risk anything. Camp on top. That bottom camp is still the area I still so want to fight from B-Step. You know, catching them off guard. It's going to spawn here on the bottom half of the map. Is that an advantage for anybody? Only for Naventic, purely on the catapults on top and bottom are a major threat, whereas mid going down is the only one for B-Step.
Shaman again, better timing for B-Step to buy them time. Kerrigan and Sylvanas are top to clear those, so.
Yeah, because they want the catapults to be a threat on
They
core
do.
as fast as possible. And the easiest way to do that is just rid of one minion and transition down.
But it does allow B-Step to have better positioning
Okay.
initially here.
This is it, Gilly. I know I've said that probably more times than I
This
can
is the
admit.
fourth time we've said it.
Let's go. This is all right. 33 minutes in, there's no way. Odin's used. It's got good clear on its own. All right, Kerrigan's getting scouted for the backdoor. They're going for it. Sylv and Kerrigan on top right now are looking for a backdoor play. There goes the invade onto Varian. 7-side strike. He's dead. Varian is going down here, and Medivh has actually stopped the backdoor attempt possibly from Sylvanas. So things are fine.
Kenma!
Twilight Dream only hits one person. He's by himself. He gets a beautiful bolt. Now Sylv is actually looking towards the core. Medivh back into answer to him once more. K1 Pro saying, not today. This is not going to be your core. He still has Leyline Seal if things get ugly. Now, Cap pulled back.
Bolt
That's
from
going to be the
Tomster.
bolt. 20,
Okay,
23 to 20 when it comes to skeletal defenders. Kerrigan's still there.
but that's starting to ramp up for Team Naventic. They've used Maelstrom. It's McIntyre, APM, and iDream trying to race a Kerrigan with Kenma and big impact. It's 29 to 29. This is incredibly close, Dread.
31, 30. There goes Kerrigan going in. Not going to combo yet. She goes for one more. 34 to 34 is what we sit at. Combo comes out. Goes on to APM. Nobody dead. 37,
39.
38, 39. Leapfrog. Kerrigan picks it up. Cleanse is going to be able to let her out. But do they get a kill? Because at the core, K1 Pro and Sylvanas are still skirmishing. If they can get the pick there, they might have a shot. But I don't think they have it.
Yes!
Oh!
Grenade! Bolt!
They get, okay, so Zuna's going to be fine.
Kenma's in trouble. Ice block's there.
They have to kill
Does he
4
have
people.
Bolt too?
They have to kill like the whole team for
They
this
will
even
kill
to be a thing.
Kenma.
That's only one though. Look at the core. Sylv is here by herself. Leyline Seal's still up. He can't use it on just her, and he does. He ends up hitting it, but this Punisher is gonna come in and make quick work.
Okay, Sylvanas is down. They're
Gul'dan
doing their
on top.
best to take down. Gul'dan's moving in.
There's no
Karazim
way.
sees this. McIntyre gets baited. He might not just fall down to the Punisher.
Nah, there's gonna be 15, 13. Every auto attack here, 3%. That is gonna be GG. 35 minutes into the game. We, in fact, are gonna be moving here to game number 5. Naventic setting it even.
Whew. What a game number 4 on Infernal Shrines. It felt like we saw the drafts. We knew how it was going to work for Team Naventic.
Yep.
But B-Step, they made it as close of a fight they could have, but it still felt like an uphill battle every single time.
I think what that shows more than anything is like when you do your best to respond to what your opponent is good at over and over again, you realize you can actually keep the game pretty close, like overall. But in the end, when you're just draft overall is innately not good at complementing the map and skirmishing enough, it just doesn't matter how good you stop the bleeding. In the end, you will lose every single situation to where you can't win the game. And I think that shows, if anything, the beauty of, you know, drafting and why it's important is just purely based off of that last game. You know, they did a good job staying in it, but it just was like, how do you deal with Kerrigan on the shrine itself?
And with that victory, Team Naventic takes it to game number 5 in the series. We'll be right there right after this.
Now we bring them to pain.
Deep within the forests of Lordaeron lies the kingdom of Zul'Aman and its zealous guardians, the Forest Trolls. During Azeroth's Second War, the Amani warlord Zul'jin struck an alliance with the Orcish Horde in order to eliminate the Trolls' ancient enemies, the Elves of Quel'Thalas. But their pact would not